Good evening, Holy Cross. Well, it's hard to believe that exam time is upon us, but here we are. I know you've been working really, really hard, and some days, of course, you're crushing it, and other days, you're finding motivation really hard to come by, and that's understandable. Exam season is always tough, but I imagine that the absence of all your familiar campus routines is making this exam period particularly so. If that's the case, I have a story for you from my own college days that might help. It happened a million years ago, but I'll tell you the story just in case there's something in my experiences that resonates with you. Okay, so let me set the scene. It was the last week of classes, spring semester of my third year. I had a 30-page term paper due in my favorite class and 2 other tests that week. Already a tough week, right? And then suddenly, another faculty member had a family emergency and suggested he move our final exam up a few days. Wow. I was among the few in the class who objected, and the majority ruled. So, long story short, this high-stakes exam fell right into the middle of an already incredibly packed week, and I felt sunk. I could not see how on earth I would get through it all. So, I called home, and I was bawling, if I remember correctly. And my mom was super empathetic and comforting, and so I started to calm down. And when my dad got on the phone, I was expecting the same kind of, gentle warmth that my mom gave me. But no, he was different. After I repeated my whole sad story, my dad said, well, and it may help you to know at this point that my dad was an officer in the Marine Corps, so keep that in mind. So at any rate, my dad said, well, Peanut, he calls me Peanut. So anyway, he said, well, Peanut, there's nothing to it but to do it. He advised me to make a plan of attack and get to work. And you know what? He was right. Part of me couldn't believe what I was hearing. I mean, that was not what I was expecting when I called home. But he was right. Getting on with it was exactly what I needed to do. My dad's advice may not work for you, but it sure did work for me. Even now, before a big project, I find myself repeating, well, there's nothing to it but to do it. It's advice I gave my 8-year-old just last week. And somehow, when I say that to myself, it's enough to get me through. Now, everyone who knows me and knows my parents says that I am a really good blend of them both. I get gifts from them both. So from my mom, I offer you a prayer. I've adapted this prayer for exam time, which comes from the same little book of prayers for college students that so many of you have picked up from Hogan 109. So here's a prayer for you as you enter exams. Lord, during these stressful days, it seems impossible to process all that they have learned. Stay with them, Lord, as they prepare for their exams. When they are overwhelmed, help them maintain a balanced perspective to see the value in taking breaks. May they always view learning as a lifelong process, comprised only in part by these exams. Help them to remember that you are by their side in every exam, every test, every trial life may provide. Amen. And from the no-nonsense gifts I get from my dad, I offer the words that helped me so long ago. There's nothing to it but to do it. So get to it. You are Holy Cross Crusaders, and I believe in you. Okay, that's it for me this Wednesday, Holy Cross. This is my last regular Wednesday video, but like I said last week, you'll see me pop up here and there throughout the summer. So until then, take care, be well, and stay Holy Cross.